Okay, let's just dive right in. The entire digital world, it feels like the ground is shifting under our feet, right? The way we all find information online has completely, fundamentally changed. We've gone from an era of searching for a list of links to a new reality where we just get direct answers. And listen, if your strategy hasn't caught up, you could be losing a race you don't even know you're in. So, I want to start with a really direct question. And I want you to think about this for your own work, your own brand. Is your current SEO strategy obsolete? It's a heavy question, I know, but in this new AI-first world, it's the one we have to ask. Because that old playbook, the one built on keywords and rankings, it might not be enough to win anymore. And look, this isn't some guess about the distant future. This is happening right now. Check out this number, 13.14%. Projections show that was the percentage of all search queries that triggered Google's AI overviews back in March of 2025. Think about that. That's more than 1 out of every 8 questions getting answered directly by an AI, a lot of the time without a single click to a website. The change is here. And that leads us right into our first big idea here. Search has fundamentally changed. We are officially done with the world where it was all about getting on that list of 10 blue links. For so many questions now, that list is starting to feel like a fossil. The new front page, the new main street, is that AI-generated answer sitting right at the very top. And this is where we see the big paradox of this new world. Overall search volume, it's still going up. People are asking more questions than ever. But at the same time, research from BrightEdge shows that click-through rates to those classic organic links have tanked by a whopping 30%. So more people are searching, but way fewer are clicking. This is what we call the decoupling of traffic from rankings. It means that #1 spot doesn't automatically mean you get the visit anymore. So what does that actually mean? Well, it's simple and it's kind of brutal. If a user gets their answer from that AI summary right at the top, they have absolutely zero reason to scroll down and click your link, even if you are the #1 organic result. This means if your brand isn't named, isn't cited in that AI overview, you're basically invisible for that search. That top spot, the thing we've chased for decades, is now in second place. Okay, so if the old map is useless, we need a new one, right? And that brings us to the solution. Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO. This is the new rulebook for this AI landscape. It's the essential evolution of SEO, and it's built for a world where becoming the answer is the only thing that really matters. I mean, this slide just says it all, doesn't it? With traditional SEO, the whole goal was to rank on a list of choices. With AEO, the goal is to become the answer itself. The entire game has changed. So what is AEO really? Let's break it down. At its heart, answer engine optimization is all about strategically designing your content so that these super smart AI models can do 4 key things. It's not just about getting found anymore. It's about being understood, being trusted, and ultimately being recommended by the AI. This is the process. This is the AI's checklist. First, it has to find your stuff. That's still step 1. But second, and this is so important, it has to understand what it's about, way deeper than just keywords. Third, it has to trust that your information is credible and authoritative. And finally, if you check all those boxes, it can confidently recommend your content by quoting you in its answer. Okay, so we get the what and the why. Now for the fun part, the how. How do we actually do this? The whole AEO strategy really stands on 4 main pillars. Think of these as the practical things you need to do to optimize your content, not just for a person, but for that incredibly smart robot librarian that's now in charge of everything. Pillar #1 is entity-centric content. Now that sounds technical, I know, but it just means that AIs see the world as a huge network of connected concepts, or entities, things like people, places, and ideas. Your job is to show the AI exactly how your content fits into that network. You do this with tools like schema markup, which is like labeling your content, and by linking out to other trusted sources to show you know what you're talking about. Next up, Pillar 2, LMM-friendly structuring. You gotta remember, these large language models are like super fast researchers, but they can be a little lazy.
They love stuff that's easy to scan. So this means using clear headings, your H1s, H2s, to give the AI a nice outline. It means writing short, to-the-point definitions right at the beginning. And a huge one, using Q&A formats, because that's exactly how the AI thinks.
But it's not just about the structure, right? The actual words you use are critical. That's pillar number 3, using citation-worthy language. If you want an AI to quote you, your content has to sound like an authority. This means a neutral, fact-based tone. It means you gotta include specific dates, stats, and name your sources. A really great pro tip is to structure your key points like a Wikipedia paragraph. Just the facts, super clear and easy to quote. And finally, and this is so important, AEO is not a set it and forget it kind of thing. That's pillar 4, real-time monitoring and iteration. This is a living, breathing strategy, so you need new ways to keep score. Forget just tracking your rank. The new scoreboard tracks things like AI citation share. How often are you actually being used in AI answers? Snippet ownership. Is your brand getting credit? And content velocity. How fast are you putting out optimized content to stay ahead of the game? Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, a bit of a fire hose of information. But we can break this all down into a clear step-by-step process. We've gone through the theory, now let's talk about your AEO action plan. This is how you start to make that shift, from being just another option to becoming the answer. Here's your roadmap. Step 1, do a full audit for AI readiness. Are you using schema? Is your content structured clearly? Step 2, you got to get in there and optimize your content for these LLMs. Break up those long paragraphs, add simple definitions. Step 3, start tracking your AI visibility with new tools that can measure your citations. And step 4, you have to scale with content velocity, maybe even using AI tools to help you produce the amount of great content you need to win. Now, you might have heard another term flying around, generative engine optimization, or GEO. It's really important to know the difference. Think of it this way. AEO is micro-focused. It's about crafting one perfect answer, like a single flawless jewel. GEO is macro-focused. It's about optimizing your entire library of content, the whole treasure chest. You really need both working together. They are the 2 pillars of visibility from here on out. So, as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with the single most important message of this whole explainer. This isn't just about getting a little bit ahead or finding some cool new marketing tactic. We need to be crystal clear about why AOSO is, and I'm not exaggerating, about survival. And here's why. The consequence of doing nothing isn't linear, it's exponential. While you're waiting around, your competitors are already doing this stuff. They're building a relationship with the AIs, teaching them that they're the authority. Every single day that goes by, that gap gets wider, and the head start they're building gets harder and harder to catch. The source material really puts it as bluntly as you can. AOL is not optional. It's survival. In a world where the old way of doing things is officially broken, just sticking to what you know is a recipe for being forgotten. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this one truth. We live in a world where AI answers first. The user's question is answered before they even see a list of websites. And in that world, the only brands that will make it, let alone thrive, are the ones that adapt. So you have to make the shift. You have to master this format. You have to become the answer. And that leaves us with one final question for you to take with you. Looking at your strategy, your content, and where this is all going, you have to ask yourself honestly, is your brand set up to be just another option on a list that fewer people are even looking at? Or are you ready to become the answer?